Roman Reigns thought he owned WWE, but when the gong sounded, everyone realized his time was up. The Undertaker didn't come back for titles, he came back to complete a mission he started decades ago. While Roman prepared for a war of strength, the Deadman was playing a completely different game. Paul Heyman knew every secret in WWE, but he didn't realize Undertaker knew his. When Roman demanded answers, Heyman said nothing. That was his first big mistake. Cody Rhodes saw a crack in Roman's armor, and he was ready to step through it. Seth Rollins didn't care about legacy, he just wanted to watch Roman's empire burn. The arena went black, but this time, the Deadman wasn't in the ring, he was in Roman's head. Heyman tried to call for help, but his phone only played one terrifying sound, a single toll of a bell, and Heyman knew the deadline had arrived. Cody offered Roman a fair fight, but Roman only knew how to fight with numbers. When Roman turned to find Heyman, his wise counsel was nowhere to be seen. Seth Rollins stood out from the crowd, laughing at Roman's growing panic. "You built your empire on fear, Roman. Now see how it feels to be afraid." Backstage, Heyman wasn't running from Roman. He was meeting the man who held his future. "You have one chance to save yourself, Paul. Deliver Roman to the ring tonight." Heyman realized he had no choice. It was Roman's destruction or his own. When Heyman returned to Roman's locker room, his voice was different, calm, cold. "My tribal chief, he is waiting for you in the ring. It is time." Roman smiled. He thought Heyman had set a trap for the Deadman. As Roman walked down the hallway, he didn't notice Heyman falling steps behind him. Cody Rhodes was already in the ring, waiting for the battle that would define his life. Seth Rollins took his seat in front row, holding a folding chair like a fan with a golden ticket. Roman's music hit, and the tribal chief made his grand entrance into the arena. He stepped into the ring, completely unaware that he had just walked into a trap. Roman looked back for Heyman to hand him the title, but the aisle was completely empty. Suddenly, the lights went dead black. The arena fell into absolute, chilling silence. Gong! The sound echoed through the stadium, shaking Roman to his core. When the lights returned, Paul Heyman was kneeling at the feet of the Undertaker. Roman screamed at Heyman to get up, but Heyman wouldn't even look at him. "You betrayed me, Paul. I made you," Roman roared across the arena. Seth Rollins stood on his chair, wildly applauding the greatest betrayal in WWE history. The Undertaker slowly raised his arm, pointing not at Roman, but at Cody Rhodes. The mission was never to destroy Roman himself, it was to strip him of his crutches. Without Heyman, without his mind games, Roman was just a man alone in a ring. Cody Rhodes stepped forward. The playing field was finally level. Roman swung wildly out of desperation, but Cody easily dodged the reckless blow. Seth Rollins cheered wildly from ringside, pounding his fists on the steel barricade. Cody grabbed Roman, hooked both arms, and executed a flawless cross Rhodes. Instead of going for the pin, Cody picked Roman up and hit a second one. And for the final statement, Cody hooked the arms one last time, a third cross Rhodes. Cody hooked a leg. 1, 2, 3. The era of Roman Reigns was over. The crowd erupted as Cody stood up, tears in his eyes, having finally finished his story. Seth Rollins climbed into the ring, not to attack Cody, but to applaud him. Roman Reigns slowly crawled up the entrance ramp, broken, defeated, and alone. At the top of the ramp, Heyman stood waiting, but not to help Roman. The bloodline was dead. The empire had fallen, not from the outside, but from within. Gong! The lights turned purple one last time as the Deadman re-emerged on the stage. He walked slowly down the ramp, stepping past the fallen Roman without even looking down. Undertaker entered the ring, standing face to face with the new champion, Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins watched from the aisle, satisfied that balance had finally been restored. Undertaker raised his right hand, placing it firmly on Cody's shoulder. "The yard is yours now," the Phenom said, passing the ultimate mantle. Undertaker raised Cody's arm into the air, presenting him to the world as the true leader. Paul Heyman watched from the shadows of the entrance curtain, knowing his master plan worked. Undertaker turned back toward the entrance stage, his final mission finally complete. He walked up the ramp one last time, as dark fog rolled across the arena stage. At the top of the ramp, he paused, slowly turning his body around one last time. He raised his iconic right fist into the air as the gong sounded one final time. Gong. The lightning flashed, and in an instant, the Phenom was gone. Inside the ring, Cody Rhodes stood alone, holding the championship high above his head. The reign of terror was over. A new era had officially begun in WWE. Roman Reigns watched from backstage on a monitor, realizing his dynasty was completely shattered. Paul Heyman walked past Roman in the hallway, adjusting his tie without saying a single word. The Deadman completed his mission. He didn't come to win a match. He came to restore the soul of the ring. And as long as WWE exists, the legacy of The Undertaker will guard its sacred grounds forever. The Bloodline fell, a champion was crowned, and the Deadman rested in peace once more. Rest in peace.